Good morning and welcome back. We hope you are enjoying the Motorcycle Safety Forum. As we close out this morning's session, we have the forum. We have a few items yet to cover. First, I do want to point out that in your handouts area in this session, there are a few elements you may consider downloading. Kathy's provided these. Provides links to the coalition. It provides links to a variety of things. So feel free to download those. There's also an agenda from today and stuff like that. And then we'll also, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of today, we will include all those materials on looklearnlive.org as well. So for the Motorcycle Safety Forum today, we've heard from a lot of speakers and had some really great information presented to us. We heard about infrastructure countermeasures from Federal Highways. We heard about NHTSA initiatives. We've heard about how social media can be used to help get the word out about motorcycle safety. We've heard from different riding groups and clubs, particularly Texas Council of Clubs and Independents. We've really had a lot of really fantastic information presented to us, and I want to thank all those speakers. Oftentimes we kind of have this situation where we see and we're presented with information about what we can do, and sometimes there's that trouble crossing that bridge to actually getting stuff done. Now, there's a lot actually being done in Texas. What we wanted to do as part of the forum and as part of the Texas Motorcycle Safety Coalition is recognize those people who are really kind of going above and beyond to get things done, to go beyond just words and presentations, but really live motorcycle rider safety and the education and outreach activities that go along with it. Next slide. So we created an award. You can see we have a little bit of definition here, but it's really meant to identify and recognize that person or persons who have really gone above and beyond just saying, well, we should do something. These are people who are like boots on the ground, getting stuff done in the area of rider safety, trying to save the lives of their fellow riders and other riders throughout Texas. And that's done through either educating riders directly or by educating motorists about rider safety issues. And there's a critical need for both of those. And we see that particularly through the TxDOT kind of guides around these different projects where we need to address both of those communities together. Next slide. So when we developed this, I'll go through the nomination process and how we did it, and then we'll get into the two different awards. We ultimately have nominations. We had nominations for this. People could submit a nomination for an individual who's working in the field, or they could submit a nomination for one or two or more people or a group that is doing activities in rider safety. Now, ultimately, even though there's a nomination for an individual and a nomination for a group, ultimately they come together and we're giving out two awards. One is basically what's called a champion award, and the other is a difference maker. And either an individual or a group can win either one of those awards. So we're not having an individual award and a team award. Those are just kind of the types of people and groups that can be nominated. So you can see really what our criteria were for each of those types of nominations in the slide here. Suffice it to say that, next slide please, suffice it to say that we actually received quite a few nominations, and what was really wonderful is that we were able to see, yes, there are some key stakeholders in Texas who have been very active for quite a while, but we also saw a lot of other stakeholders who we hadn't heard their names before, but they're clearly very active in promoting rider safety. So that was really, really refreshing. You can sort of see the steps that we gone through in the blue squares that you have on the slide. First, we received the nominations. They were then reviewed by the Texas Motorcycle Safety Coalition Task Force, by TxDOT staff. Particularly, we want to thank Mona Lisa Diddle Page for her support there, and then reviewed by staff at TTI who are familiar with the motorcycle safety topics. From there, they scored each of the nominations. They rank ordered those from the best score down to the lowest score. And I'm here to tell you that initially we thought there was going to be a big range in there, but the top several places were very, very tight. In fact, the champion award and the second place, the difference maker award, were separated by 1/10 of a point. And this was a pretty wide scale that we had. So there was very, very stiff competition amongst all the candidates. And again, they were all wonderful. It was just really refreshing to see the amount of activities that are going on in rider safety in Texas. One thing to note is that nominees who did not win the champion award, they are automatically carried over into next year's nomination process. Now we'll open up that nomination process here in another couple months, a little bit earlier than this year. Those people can be renominated to basically add some information to what was provided earlier. It's really up to whoever wants to do that nominating to fulfill that. Next slide. So our Difference Maker Award, which is sort of analogous to a runner-up award, but it's really not a runner-up. This is an award that really recognizes this second person in the scoring process, but has still made significant contributions. And I want to recognize and congratulate the winner of this award, Jude Schecksnyder. Now, Jude is not available today. He's actually riding a motorcycle. He took a vacation that was planned long ago. But Jude is one of those stakeholders that has been active in rider safety and promoting rider safety for a very, very long time. He was a motorcycle law enforcement officer for a number of years. He then worked for TxDOT as their motorcycle program manager for a number of years. And then afterwards, he's been volunteering in different areas of rider safety. So working with AMA, the American Motorcyclists Association, to promote rider safety. And then he started doing presentations all by himself. He put together a slide deck and started to go visit different clubs and groups in order to kind of share data and share information about rider safety topics that he felt was important. And we're continuing that with Jude now. These are just a few of the accomplishments that Jude has achieved over the years. What we will do on looklearnlive.org in the next couple weeks is post kind of a full listing of each individual's accomplishments. We also will have a short video that people can go to and play and kind of see and really appreciate what this person has done, what Jude has done for Texas. So thank you, Jude, and congratulations. It's a very well-deserved achievement, and we really hope you continue to influence motorcycle rider safety throughout Texas in the coming years. Next slide. So our champion, which is the analogous to the first place award, we have a few bullet points here which lists their accomplishments. This person is intensely involved with the Texas Council of Clubs and Independents, TCO-CNI. That was since 2008. They've worked with cities, city mayors, city councils, and the governor of Texas for nationally recognizing May as Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. They also interact with those different kind of traditionally non-motorcycle stakeholders on a very regular basis. Their activities in kind of doing those outreach events and activities has really been quite astonishing. Really kind of not only taking the ball and running with it, but running a long ways with it and doing just an absolutely stunning job. They've been a member of the Texas Motorcycle Safety Coalition for quite a long time. They promote and kind of share information about the Look Twice campaign, which is a TxDOT funded campaign. And then they continue to come up with new ideas, not only within the TCOC&I, but within TMSC and other groups to really try and save the lives of riders who are out there enjoying the sport and their activity. So the champion, the person receiving the champion award, next slide, is Shelley Red Holmes. Red is her riding name. She is a member of the TCOC&I. You can see her wonderful trophy there, which we're going to be sending to her very shortly. For both of these winners, please do, if you can, reach out to them, congratulate them for what they've accomplished. We would really, really appreciate it. If you're part of TCOC&I, please send her an email or send her a note or something. They've done really excellent work over the years, and we're really fortunate to have them on our team, on the motorcycle safety team in Texas, helping us out. It's really quite an achievement. Okay, on that note, I want to move on to the last little bit of our forum today. Thank you, Laura. Just to recap some of our sponsors, TxDOT, thank you so much for providing funding for the forum for this larger project and providing continued guidance in motorcycle safety. We have really wonderful stakeholders there in Terry Pence. Mona Lisa Diddle-Page is the program manager, and she really gives us some wonderful information on how to improve what we're doing and offers guidance to help us get better and better all the time. Center for Transportation Safety for providing funding and staffing, and then again, the Texas Motorcycle Safety Coalition. Next slide. Okay, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the planning team. So Kathy Brooks, who you probably saw today, Laura Higgins, and then Christy Haveman. They have all put on this forum, and I know on the forums are kind of like an iceberg. You know, the attendees really see just the tip of that iceberg and the speakers and everything, but there are many months that go into planning and recruiting people, identifying the schedule, etc. And Kathy, Laura, and Christy have just done an absolutely admirable job in doing that this year, particularly as we have switched from an in-person conference to a virtual conference. And on that note, we will, as soon as we can, we will be switching back to an in-person conference. I also want to thank session support staff and people, Stephanie Ferguson from TTI, Olivia Thomas, Ronnie Spitfire Nippert, who is also another really active motorcycle safety advocate, just like Red is, really wonderful. Tommy Miller, thank you very much for helping us out today, and Tommy's helped out with videos and stuff in the past as well. So thank you so much for your effort, your time, and your commitment to rider safety. Next slide. Lastly, I want to thank our speakers. We have a slide with their pictures kind of all aggregated together. They've really done a wonderful job. I was jumping in and out of sessions today, and I really appreciated all the information that they gave. They too have spent a fair amount of time preparing their presentations, rehearsing and getting ready. They've had to work with us to get familiar with the virtual environment, etc. So we want to thank each of the speakers. If you have any follow-up questions for any of the speakers, please do email. There's on the Look, Learn, Live website, there's a contact information. If you have a question, you can send it to us, and we will relay it to them and then try and get back to you with that information. So thank you very much to the speakers. Next slide. Okay, a few Last minute housekeeping issues. We started out today with some housekeeping. We'll finish up with it as well. As this session closes, after we're done today, it will bring you back to the lobby auditorium area. And again, we encourage you to fill out the evaluation. Just click on there's a bar on the right-hand side. Just take a few minutes, because that really helps us understand what we're doing right with the forum and what we can improve on for next year. If you have any topics that you want to have addressed next year, please put those in that evaluation as well, because we start kind of thinking about the forum and what has to be done for next year just very within the next couple weeks of this forum. So please do put that information in there. It's a really quite a significant benefit for us on the planning side. Next slide. Okay, and I just want to wrap up. We've kind of gone from the presentations and the high level information. We have these awards where we see how people are applying that information in the real world and helping to reduce rider fatalities and suspected serious injuries. Now I have an ask of you. So please do get involved. If you're not already involved in rider safety in some way, shape, or form, please do step up. You can do so in very little ways, just by encouraging your fellow riders, say, not to drink and ride. It's an absolutely terrible combination, to doing even more. We would recommend getting involved with the Texas Motorcycle Safety Coalition. The obligation is really minimal, but we do have quarterly meetings every year where we share information and have people come in and talk about rider safety. So that's one area to get involved. The link to do that is down below. Just go to looklearnlive.org/coalition and then /, and then you just hit click to join. And Kathy just posted it up on the Q&A, so thank you. That's very helpful. I will note that the very next coalition meeting will be held on June 24th. We do this at 10 a.m. in the morning. They're traditionally, when we're doing this virtually, it's a pretty quick call, just an hour and a half. When we go back to in-person meetings, we typically hold those in College Station, and that affords us a little bit more time to address a lot of the different topics within rider safety. So I want to thank everybody for attending today. It's been really wonderful. I was going through the different sessions and looking at the count of the people that joined each of these sessions, and it was really quite active. And I want to thank you all for doing that. And I want to thank you for attending today's forum. And with that, I'm going to close it out. Ride safe.